Greetings, viewers, and thanks for joining me out in the shop looking at the 3rd gen 4runner here. Oswald and Slim and I already replaced those 3 seals in the front axle. I did not video that because who here hasn't seen me tear apart a front end of a Toyota 4runner umpteen times? Raise your hand. Exactly. There is a mess underneath of there. There is a power steering pump underneath of there. I had a noisy power steering pump thing going on here. I got advised, yeah, I've already tore into this. This is actually my 3rd attempt at making you guys a video today. It is really hot as balls, you might say, and yeah, it's been a frustrating day for me. Getting the seals done, that was pretty easy. Finished up the boots and everything on the Tundra. It's working great. Not sure how I feel about that slappy tire, but I will continue to try that as I go and see. It's not bad at highway speeds, but around town, it's really thumpy. And anyway, it kind of bugs me. If you've ever had experience with a flat spot on a tire, what did you do? Did you run it or did you change it? It's a $250 tire. I think I'd like to change it. Anyway, same thing with this pump. Now, it was recommended to me that I could remove this reservoir from my other pump. You know, wherever I hold it, it's sure to leak some more fluid. There's a screen down inside there. When you shine light up to it, can I get it where you can see? Can you see that light shining through that hole there? Sure. Lots of it too. That's, whoo, there goes the spill. And that's nice and clean. That filter's really clean because I cleaned it when, I'm sorry, try and get some of that covered up so I don't step in it. I cleaned that when I did my power steering lines and such. If I get, and yeah, it's still squalling. I had a new pump here that is good. I took off of something and I kept it because it was really good shape, and the screen on that one's really clean. So I tried swapping reservoirs first with that pump, and wasn't happening. There's an easy way to take your power steering pump off, is just 4 bolts. There's one down here that has a nut over it. That's at the end of your adjuster. The other 3, if I can get it in here, are right here on this pad. 2 right here and then 1 up underneath. Super easy to get to, so don't try to take your pump off. This is one you have to have loose for your adjuster, but trying to take that out and those 2 bottom ones out and get your pump off is harder than taking this whole thing off. And then you can clean your adjuster and everything up. That's a nicer bracket and adjuster. Like I said, that engine had a bunch of stuff done on it, and then it met an unfortunate demise. That's also not important. Hard to get your hands in here anyway without blocking everything and trying to get video in here. I am going to reinstall this pump now. There's the one that goes over that stud I showed you that takes a nut. And there's your 3 on your bracket on this side. 1, 2, 3. There's a stubby one in there that holds a wire harness. Yeah, so anyway, I'm going to run that back on. I'll hit the high points here, I guess, as I go to put it back on. I tried to make a video of the screen cleaning. That's pretty easy. The 3 bolts that hold the tank on, there's 2. The other one right there, accessible. Those are 12s. The tank just pulls straight off. There's an O-ring there and you can clean it. But anyway, both those were clean, so no need for that. I'm going to put this back on. I'm still waiting on my celebratory episode. I'm over 1,000 subscribers now and appreciate that very much. I want to announce the plans for the Tacoma, but I'm waiting until everything gets together. I get all my poop in a group, and then I will make that announcement, surprise, happy, yay video. And I am not being aloof. I am super excited about 1,000 subscribers. So let me start to put this pump back on, and I'll have to bleed the system again, and it'll come back with any high points. As it's kind of going in, you can see there's one of the bolts, there's the other, they go through, there's one at the bottom you can't see, there's the one down there on that stud, got the nut on it. There's a little tab there that aligns it. Make sure you get that lined up in there. Yeah, it pretty much has fallen into place. You can see that little tab there, so it's right. And then your belt and adjuster and everything, you know, you'll tend to that at the end. I'm going to tighten all these bolts up, get my line back on. Oops. Just going to show you about the hooking up the line, but I'll get to that here in just a minute. Now I go ahead and put my return line on. The clamp's down there. I got to pull it up. Don't forget your little brass washers that go on either side. On a 4runner, all the ones I've done, they're like a double thing with the bridge across it, so it stays on there. Make sure all that is clean. Your pump will still be loose, so you can set your adjustment and then tighten up the lock nut on that. I'll try to show you that. This is a good time to go ahead and start filling up your reservoir. And you can barely see that. This has been a hard one to get any video. Really hot. It's really hot. I'm really tired. Whine, whine, whine. How do you think I'll hit this from this far up? But anyway, sorry I ruined a couple of different things. One of the videos I hate having ruined the most was the airbag install video. I ruined that one. Sometimes I hit the wrong buttons. I'm going ahead and dumping some fluid in here to get this a nice big gulp, and it can start draining down. Hopefully it won't lose a whole bunch, because I tried not to let either one of the hoses drape too far and drain, but there'll still be some air in it. Bleed it like before. That was my steady stew impression there. Got that dumped in without making a mess this time. In fact, I think I might clean this one off. Just see how clean I can keep it. Boy, I sure hope that stops the whine, because like I said, I have already taken the reservoir off, tried that, swapping, put it back up, bled it, tried again. I did those seals, did that this morning when it was cooler. That took me about an hour and a half without video and anything to pop that all apart and put it back together. I got all my lines back on. I'm going to run the rest of these bolts up like I was showing you. I'll tighten everything up. It's so much easier with the air box out. In fact, it's kind of really difficult with the air box in. So I'm going to tighten those up. I'll be right back. Well, thankfully the skies opened up and started pouring down some rain on us. Oswald likes that. Sure cooled things off a little bit. Now I got those bolts in over here. You can see on the bracket, there's the one in the middle that held the thing right there, that held the little harness. Don't forget to plug your little switch back in. Bolt your hose back up. You got your fluid in. Easier to show you this without the fan belt on. You can see that one right there, and I'm touching with the front of my light. That one is the one you lock down after adjusting your belt tension. It's fastened to an adjuster down here on the end. It's underneath that I won't be able to show you, but it's like this right there, this kind of thing. Yeah, and that's what adjusts your tension. Kind of messy. I know I'm pretty messy generally, but it's just easier to drain fluid sometimes by opening stuff up and letting it go. I'm going to put my belt on, tension it, lock that down, put my air box in, bleed this, and should be all done. And I'll wait till the end here. Yeah, and see if there's anything I need to add. Okay, the nut that you put the wrench on to adjust the belt is that one. Right down there in the center, that's nice and clean looking. You'll put your wrench on that and use it to tighten. You can kind of see down there, it's there's your slider wheel and adjustment and stuff back there. The nut that I got my socket on there, that's the one you have to cinch down after you set your tension. And that one right there, that center picture, you also have to tighten down. That's your swivel on your bracket, so don't forget to tighten those down. Belt tension, I like mine to be able to move up and down by 1/2 inch or so. Not too tight so it's pulling, but tight enough so it's tight enough. Then I'll run it, and if it sounds grindy like it's too tight, I'll loosen it. But yeah, so that. And I put my air box back. Make sure you tighten everything back up. I'm going to show you how to bleed this again because I already have showed you that. But I'm going to spray some parts cleaner in there, I think. So let me tighten this up. Well, all right. Nice and quiet. Can't really see it percolating, but it is. Super happy. There I go. Very pleased indeed. So, front seals fixed, power steering fixed, out with the old, and with the not as old, means pretty much daily driver status has been achieved for the 4runner. I wasn't wanting to go long distances because of gear oil leaks, and that power steering one making me none too happy. I think I fixed everything, every leak, every issue I was having, so this can now get more road miles and go further trips at higher speeds. I have had an idea after I already resealed everything. I want to put an all-wheel drive truck's front drive shaft in, because it's got a CV joint in the front. And I know J-shift trucks were never made to be driven in four-wheel drive at highway speeds, and I think that's why it vibrates. And I noticed from my workings that tearing apart third gens with all-wheel drive option transfer cases, they had the double CV or the dual cardan joint in their front drive shaft. So, wish I'd have thought of that while I was under there doing the seals, but I didn't, but I have one. Power steering's working again. Yay. This video's kind of jumbled up, but I hope you enjoyed it. Tore up my shirt and fixed everything on my truck, the Tundra. I don't know if I already mentioned about that slappy tire. Maybe I did. Not sure what I want to do about that. But anyway, thanks for joining me today for kind of a how to do a power steering pump and fix that whine. I hope taking the canister off and cleaning the screen works for you. That would be a way better option. So enough about that. Thanks for joining me today. Like and subscribe and check comments. I got new shirts and stickers coming up. There'll be links there are links in the description. Liking and subscribing is free. It's easy and it's painless, but it helps me. So appreciate you a whole bunch. Do that stuff if you're so inclined. Most importantly, just have a great day.